G'day everyone, Tony from WorkGuru here, and today I want to give you a quick overview and preview of everything that we've been working on for our upcoming Easter release for WorkGuru. As you can see from the screen in front of me, there's been some big changes, including one of the ones that has been asked for most for the last 7 or 8 years, which is dark mode is now enabled. It's an optional choice in your settings about whether you want to have dark mode or not, and you can choose it on an individual user basis. So if you don't want dark mode and you want your traditional light mode, you're more than welcome to keep that, and that's the default for everyone. This release has focused on a lot of UI uplift. So the user experience and the user interface for WorkGuru has needed a little bit of attention for some time, and that's something that we've been working on in this video, for this video. And as you can see, there's a bunch of updates which are just tweaks, so nothing's moved hugely, but there is some new look and feel in the layout. One of the things that we've been working on in particular is our dashboards. And so our dashboards have got a little bit more information rich in them and a little bit more clean in terms of the presentation layer of the dashboard. So we've now got a little bit more hierarchy of data and a little bit more visual cues about how your projects are going, for example, on the projects dashboard. And each dashboard now also has the ability for you to show and hide some columns that you don't want to see on your dashboard. So if you don't want to see the asset or the client PO, for example, on the project's dashboard, you don't have to. But you can also now add your own custom fields to that dashboard. Now, this is personalizable on an individual user by user basis. So if you've got different users who have different preferences inside WorkGuru, that is totally fine, and we support that. Other things that we've been working on is massively improving our operations and sales performance. So if we look at the operations hub, we've updated the look of we've updated a dashboard called the operations hub, which is designed to be for your ops manager, your GM, your production manager to look at everything that's happening in the business and see fundamentally what's due, what's at risk, and what's overdue. Now, my test data, I've got a whole bunch of things that are overdue, but from this dashboard, you can see what projects are overdue, what stock sales are overdue and haven't been dispatched, what POs are overdue, what jobs they're holding up, and see all of that from a single dashboard that lets you action it and tick it off your list to make sure that you know what's going on from a single point in time. You can filter that by what's due, overdue, what's upcoming in the next week or so, and filter it by all your different types, task types, production jobs, and to-do list items as well. So it should give you a very, very clear snapshot for your ops manager and GM. Rather than having to go to each different dashboard and see what's going on, you'll be able to see it all through the production dashboard, the operations hub. Similarly with the Sales Hub. So the Sales Hub is designed for the sales manager. So we've done a whole bunch of extra work on improving experience for sales teams in this release, updating our CRM capability. And so the Sales Hub will give you a list of all of your to-dos and lead activities that you haven't completed, and recommend follow-ups based on what you haven't done and also some settings. So this will give you an overview of what activities you have, what haven't been done, what's coming up, what your completion rate is over the last 7 and 30 days. So a little bit more of a traditional sales-based CRM. And the other thing that we've built here is a recommendation engine. Now you can set on a tenant level how often you want to follow up quotes that you haven't followed up, leads that haven't been quoted, or even large contacts that you want to follow up. And when you load the Sales Hub, WorkGuru will make recommendations for you about what you should be following up and when. And if you do that, you can actually even use a draft email generation tool, which will use now AI and a large language model to generate you an email to that client or to that lead or to that quote based on your email history with them and the sentiment and what is in that email. So, and you can review and send that from WorkGuru. It will never send it automatically. It creates a draft and then lets you send it later. So really cool for your sales leaders, being able to manage all of their sales activities from a single dashboard as well. We've also updated the leads dashboard to give a little bit more visual representation of what's going on. So similar to the update that we've done on the projects dashboard and all the dashboards, it's a little bit more graphic and visible. And so you can see at a glance what leads are hot, cold, warm, percentage chances, and manage that all from the single dashboard. For those who prefer the Kanban view, we've also added a lead board Kanban style view to your leads dashboard that lets you move things through different stages and pipeline areas to track that visually. So again, you get that visual element and a little bit more comfort about what you want to see in terms of your view for your CRM performance. One of the other big things that we've updated in here is our pivot report table. So The whole UI for the pivot reports has had a bit of an uplift, which is awesome. But one of the things that we've been asked for a really long time is the ability to automatically generate charts of your pivot tables. So that is in this release as well, which is pretty cool. And the way the charting works is gives you a series based on your client, your first element in your rows, and then a series per item in your data set. So for each, first row, I've got, length and cost, and so we can sum those up and, give you a pivot table based on those. There's also been some updates to the percentages and mean calculations on pivot tables so that we can actually now dynamically calculate, percentages of profit margin and things like that across the whole group of projects, regardless of column order, which has been something that's been asked for a long time. And we can also now dynamically inject into the filter pre-query what client filter, what project filter, and I'll add a couple of others, project manager, project group, all of those kind of things. So you can do that client side before you send the filter, which gives you faster reporting. And you can now automatically save those as part of your custom report saving as well, which has been a really big request that we've been working on and has taken us some time to do. So that's pretty much a heads up update of what we've got coming out over the next week. So I hope you like it, and I hope you feel that the uplift is there and some of the extra functionalities there. I'll post this video on YouTube and the social media platforms, and then look for the update to come out during the Easter week. So have a great Easter, everyone, and I hope you like the update.